in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little Johnny. Just doing a quick tasting on the Watermelon Weisse, the sour watermelon. Well, since she's finished now, so time to sit down and have a actual review. Yeah, I've bottled a heap of these in smaller, there's a bloody vodka cruiser bottle, only 275 mils, so they're a bit smaller than normal. Thought I had a heap of bottles sitting around, so I might as well use them. Anyway, so as I said, sour watermelon, a Weisse ghost type style. We soured with a Belgian sour mix from White Labs with a little bit of acidophilus, lactobacillus from some Health Plus tablets, with a little bit of fooling around with the mash and the actual brew itself, but got through it. This is my first actual crack at a sour beer, so learned a few things along the way for the next one. Now, this batch has been in the bottle now, I think, for be pushing 5 weeks. I haven't actually got the date here, I haven't written it down. It's actually on the video from when I done it. Well, it's got here. I was cold crashing around the 30th of March, so it would have been early, probably only a week into April when I got bottled, so that makes it, around that 5 week mark. I've had one or two of these along the way to see how it was going. It's developed a little bit as it's come along, so I thought it was about time to get in and we can get a decent actual review on a decent taste of how it's travelling, because it did change a little bit. So there she be. She's a little bit cloudy. That's to be expected. There's a whack, a fair whack of wheat in there. 50% wheat, so it's expected it's going to be cloudy. It is clear through the clouds. There's clarity there, but it's what you'd expect. So the nose is sour. Which again, I would expect. There's a good carbonation. She was carved up with carb drops, I'm pretty sure. And then you see it's pouring a nice head, and that's holding quite well. Initially it didn't have any head, so it's taken a little bit to develop. The first glass I had no head, so that's improved as it's settled a little bit in the bottle. And it probably would have I could have poured a little bit clearer if I'd been a bit more careful with it. The yeast cake isn't particularly solid on the bottom of these bottles, so it has stirred a little bit up, and again that's probably something to do with the mix that's in there. Let's see how she tastes. First thing is that sourness, straight away, it's there. First thing in your mouth, it's that sour taste. It sort of covers a lot of the flavour. flavour comes on, there's a little bit more flavour there. You know, on that second mouthful there, obviously with the mouth adjusting this to the sourness, it's allowing the flavour to show a little bit more. There's a a little hint of the watermelon there. It's only very very subtle. But as much as it's subtle, it's definitely there. It's noticeable. You can pick it's watermelon. And then given that the watermelon it's an unusual sort of a flavour. It doesn't taste like you expect it to. It's always a little bit hard to describe. It lacks the flavour you expect it to, and I've found that with other things that have been watermelon flavoured over the years. But it's there. I know that's. I definitely know that's got a watermelon component to it. It's very spritzy, and again, it's quite well. It's quite well carved, and that's and so it should be for the style. It should be well carved. It's meant to be a spritzy beer. Totally a good carb, good head, and that's going to, obviously the wheat's going to help that. There's a bit of tartness there to go with the sourness. A bit of dryness, not a lot of dryness. I would have expected a bit more dryness. But it's more tart than dry. It's got a slightly cidery sort of feel to it, with the way that the tartness is coming out. Now that again is part of the style. You get that tartness, and that when the wheat obviously contributes a lot to that as well. So I've got to say, overall, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. For my first sour, it's not perfect. It's is it a fantastic exhibit of the style? Yeah, probably not. Is it drinkable? Yes, very drinkable. I'm quite happy to give that to people. My son and his fiance had a glass or two each on the weekend, just gone. They're more cider drinkers, and they quite liked it. And again, I think if you like that sort of style, you lean towards those dry, tarty, obviously sour beers, and it's going to be up your alley. So I'm pleased with how that is. I'm thinking some improvements for next time I brew one of these, which I'm not going to be in a rush to do. This is going to last me, also I might brew one up early, next year for next summer, not for the following summer. This one's going to kick around for this summer coming up. So. But I would probably look at, I think, adding the watermelon into a secondary as opposed to into the actual boil, to try and boost the flavour a little bit and potentially the colour. I'm actually surprised how little colour from the watermelon has actually got into that. There's some there, but it's not the colour you'd expect to get from watermelon. I think a change up on the souring method will also be on the cards next time around. I think I would probably just go straight to the lacto tablets for the souring as opposed to actually trying to use a yeast mix. I don't think that was the best way of doing it. Had I wanted to be more traditional, it would have been fine, but doing a quicker method, it didn't work out. Just doing the lactate tablets straight up would have been simpler and at the end of the day cheaper. So not spending money on the yeast and on the tablets. But and again, those health, those bloody IBS tablets, they're not cheap on their own. So from that perspective, if you are going to go out and buy the tablets and do it that way, then you probably want to be doing the more than one a year. You probably want to be doing a few batches of them. I assume they're going to run out of date reasonably quickly. I couldn't imagine they're going to last very long. I've never actually checked, but being a live culture in them, I don't think it's going to last for too long. So that could be detrimental to going forward. But that's all little things. The main thing is like following the method worked as it is, and it's got a drinkable beer that's going to go down quite nicely on a hot summer day. I mean, it's currently, I don't know, it's about 6 or 7 degrees outside. It's only about 13 degrees here in the garage at the moment. It's not really the weather for drinking this kind of beer. And as the mouth adjusts to the sourness, the flavours come through a little bit more. The watermelon becomes a little bit more obvious. But I think a little bit more the flavour would have been good. I would like a little bit more than what I've got. So I'm going to finish that one off. Wrap up. Happy with the process, happy with the result. It can be better. But yeah, if you want to get into some sour beers, take on board what I've listened. Get in, watch some other videos. There's plenty of information about to do it. It's easier than I thought it was going to be. It was a little bit fiddly, but it was easier than I thought it was going to be. So if you are keen to get into the sour beers and you're interested in doing one, I say give it a crack. It's definitely worth it. So that's me, Little John, for today. So until I see you again and we're drinking some beers, or making a bit, good brewing.